Recognize your fear. Have you ever felt that sudden pause in your life? The moment when your heart races, your thoughts spin, and fear seems to take over? That tightness in your chest, the hesitation in your mind, the little voice whispering, "You can't do this." That is fear speaking to you. It's natural to feel it, and yet most people spend their lives running from it, avoiding it, or trying to ignore it. But here's a truth that can change everything. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is a guide. It is a signpost showing you exactly where your growth, your transformation, and your greatest opportunities lie. Think about it. Every time you felt fear, it has appeared at a crucial moment in your life. Perhaps it was before starting a new job, speaking in front of a crowd, leaving a relationship, or pursuing a dream that seemed impossible. That fear wasn't there to stop you. It was there to show you the edge of your comfort zone. It was there to say, this is where your courage begins. This is where your life changes if you step forward. Most of us misunderstand fear. We let it become a cage, a reason to procrastinate, to stay safe, and to settle for less than we deserve. But what if we could change that perspective? What if we could see fear as a teacher, a compass pointing us toward our true potential? The first step toward mastering your tomorrow is learning to recognize fear for what it really is. When you feel that tightness in your chest, pause. Don't run. Don't resist. Instead, ask yourself, what is this fear trying to teach me? Where is it pointing me to grow? When you awaken to this understanding, fear loses its power to paralyze you. You begin to see it as temporary, a fleeting moment that comes and goes, while your courage, your determination, and your ability to rise above it are permanent. You begin to realize that fear is simply a signal that something meaningful is ahead, something important, something that will stretch you, challenge you, and ultimately transform you into a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Fear can feel overwhelming at first. It can seem bigger than life, louder than your inner voice. But here's the spiritual truth. The more you face it, the smaller it becomes, and the more your inner strength grows. Every time you pause, breathe, and move forward despite fear, you are sending a powerful message to your mind and your soul. I am stronger than you thought. I am capable. I will not let fear define me. So today, I invite you to start seeing fear differently. Begin to notice it, honor it, and thank it for showing you where your growth lies. Understand that the very thing that makes you anxious is also the key to unlocking your greatest potential. Your fear is a signal. Your courage is the answer. And your journey to mastering tomorrow begins the moment you recognize and embrace it. Rise above fear. Rising above fear doesn't mean that fear disappears. It doesn't mean that your heart stops racing or that doubts no longer enter your mind. True courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act despite it. Every great achievement in history, every spiritual awakening, every personal victory began with someone facing fear and choosing to move forward anyway. Fear is natural. Fear is universal. But courage is what transforms fear into growth. Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff, looking at the unknown stretching out before you. Fear urges you to step back, to stay safe, to avoid the risk. But deep within, there's another voice, a whisper of faith, a call of possibility, saying, step forward and you will discover your strength. That is the voice of your higher self, the voice that reminds you that you are capable of more than you realize. Every time you rise above fear, you strengthen that voice. Every time you take a step, despite uncertainty, you prove to yourself that fear is temporary, but your potential is limitless. Rising above fear also means understanding its purpose. Fear is not meant to paralyze you. It is meant to awaken you. Every fear you feel is a doorway, every challenge a teacher. When fear rises, instead of running from it, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what am I learning? What opportunity lies on the other side of this fear? How can this challenge make me stronger? When you shift your mindset in this way, fear transforms from a barrier into a guide, and every challenge becomes a stepping stone toward the life you are meant to live. The process of rising above fear is not always easy. It requires patience, practice, and a willingness to face discomfort. But each small act of courage creates momentum. Each time you confront fear, you expand the boundaries of what is possible for you. You begin to realize that fear only feels powerful because we have allowed it to dictate our choices. The moment you step forward despite fear, that power shifts back to you. You reclaim control over your mind, your actions, and ultimately, your destiny. Remember, fear is only temporary. The lessons it brings, the strength it builds, and the courage it awakens within you are permanent. When you choose to rise above fear, you align yourself with your highest potential. You step into a life where possibilities are no longer limited by doubts or worries. You begin to act from a place of faith, strength, and clarity rather than hesitation. So today, make the choice to rise above. When fear whispers, "You cannot," respond with a firm, "I will." Let fear guide you, but never control you. Step forward, embrace the unknown, and trust that on the other side lies growth, transformation, and a life more extraordinary than you have ever imagined. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the mastery of it. And mastering fear is the key to mastering your tomorrow. Master your tomorrow. Mastering your tomorrow begins today, in this very moment. The future is not some distant destination. It is shaped by every thought, every choice, and every action you take right now. Too often, we allow fear, doubt, or the opinions of others to dictate our path. And we forget that the power to create our life has always been within us. Your tomorrow is not determined by what has happened in the past, nor by what seems impossible today. It is determined by the courage you summon, the decisions you make, and the steps you take to rise above fear and embrace your potential. Every step forward, no matter how small, creates momentum. Each choice to act despite fear compounds over time, building a life that reflects your true self. Think about the people who inspire you, those who have achieved greatness, who have overcome obstacles, and who have left a mark on the world. None of them were fearless. All of them faced doubt, uncertainty, and resistance. What set them apart was their ability to rise above fear and take consistent action. Their courage, persistence, and faith allowed them to master their tomorrows one step at a time. To master your tomorrow, you must also learn to trust yourself. Trust that the inner strength you need is already within you. Trust that each challenge carries a lesson, each setback is temporary, and each fear is a signpost pointing toward your growth. When you trust yourself, fear loses its grip. You stop waiting for the perfect moment or seeking approval from others. Instead, you begin to act with clarity, purpose, and determination, knowing that every choice you make contributes to the life you want to create. Mastering tomorrow also requires a vision, a clear sense of the life you want to live. Close your eyes and imagine the best version of yourself, free from fear, doubt, and hesitation. What does that life look like? How do you feel? Hold on to that vision and let it guide your actions. Every decision you make should align with this vision. Every step you take should bring you closer to the person you are meant to become. Remember, fear will always exist. Life will always bring uncertainty. But the way you respond to it is what shapes your destiny. When fear whispers, "You can't," you respond with, "I will." When doubt tries to stop you, you move forward with faith. Each time you rise above, you reclaim your power, strengthen your courage, and reinforce your belief in what is possible. Your tomorrow is not a matter of luck. It is a matter of choice. It is built by the courage you display today, the actions you take despite fear, and the belief that you are capable of more than you realize. So step boldly, act intentionally, and embrace the journey. When you rise above fear, face challenges with courage, and trust your inner strength, you do more than survive. You thrive. You master your tomorrow, and in doing so, you create a life that is limitless, extraordinary, and deeply aligned with who you truly are. As we come to the close of this journey, it's time to reflect on a truth that can change your life. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is a messenger. It is a signpost pointing directly toward the areas where you are meant to grow, to transform, and to rise above. Every moment of hesitation, every doubt, every challenge you face has been preparing you for this. The opportunity to step into your power and claim the life you are capable of living. The choice has always been yours, to let fear control you or to rise above it and master your tomorrow. Mastering your tomorrow starts with awareness. First, recognize fear when it arises. Notice how it shows up in your mind, body, and spirit. Instead of running from it, pause and ask, what is this fear trying to teach me? What door is it opening for my growth? The moment you view fear not as a threat, but as a guide, you awaken a power within yourself that you may have forgotten existed. You begin to understand that fear is temporary, but your courage, your strength, and your ability to act despite it are eternal. Next comes action. Rising above fear requires stepping forward, even when the path is uncertain. Every person who has achieved greatness has faced fear, just as you do. The difference is in how they respond. They act despite doubt. They take steps that scare them, and each step builds momentum, confidence, and resilience. Courage is cultivated through consistent action. It is strengthened each time you refuse to let fear dictate your choices, each time you push past hesitation, and each time you trust yourself to handle whatever comes next. Mastering your tomorrow also means envisioning it. Picture the life you want to create. Imagine the person you are meant to become, free from limitations, unbound by doubt, and fully aligned with your highest potential. Let this vision guide every decision you make. Let it motivate you when fear tries to slow you down and remind you that each small, intentional step you take today is shaping a future full of possibility. The life you dream of is not built by luck or chance. It is built by courage, by action, and by the faith you place in yourself. Finally, remember that mastery is not a destination. It is a continuous journey. Fear will appear again and again, but so will your ability to overcome it. With every challenge you face, with every step you take despite fear, you reclaim your power. You transform uncertainty into opportunity and hesitation into decisive action. You become someone who does not merely survive, but thrives. Someone who does not wait for tomorrow, but creates it with intention, strength, and courage. So take this moment to make a promise to yourself, to face fear, to rise above it, and to take charge of your destiny. Know that your potential is limitless, your courage is greater than you imagine, and your future is in your hands. Fear may visit, but it will not control you. You are ready, you are capable, you are the master of your tomorrow. Step forward, rise above, and watch as your life transforms in ways you have only dared to imagine.